For a reaction, we want to bring in Curtis Ellis, the current policy director with America First Policies and former senior policy advisor to President Trump. Curtis, good to see you. A lot of people, they've been waiting for the president to release his own official health care plan. Are these lower drug costs a preview of what we could expect?
Absolutely. The president has been looking to lower drug costs the American way by spurring innovation and breaking up some of the opaque, really sclerosis that surrounds the drug industry. We see a high concentration of ownership that feeds into high prices. He has been very adamant about wanting to strike back against some of these abuses that we see rampant. And this idea that drugs are being sold at a lower price overseas than they're being sold to Americans is really unacceptable to the president. And that's what this particular executive order is about. But we've seen some other moves as well. Right now, this is going to be hard for your viewers to believe that you cannot even get the price of a drug revealed publicly. Many drugs, the companies do not release publicly the price of a drug. You go into a restaurant, you know what you're going to pay for a steak or a hamburger. You don't know that about drugs. It's all very opaque. You've got special kickbacks and rebates being given to pharmacy companies and that do not go to the end user. And he's trying to break that up as well. We've also seen moves at the FDA to speed the development of generic substitutes for branded drugs. A couple of years ago, we had that horror story of this guy, Kelly, who bought up basically drugs that were out of patent. He bought up the sole source supplier of a drug and jacked the price up like 1,000%. Something that used to cost $35 a dose was now being sold for $750 a dose. That's an example of the kind of consolidation that we really need broken up.
Yeah.
And that's one way to bring down prices.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point there. We all remember Pharma Bro and what happened with that. But Curtis, while we've got you, let's talk about foreign policy. The Taliban, Afghan government, they're talking about peace. Can you imagine? There was a get-together over the weekend happening just as President Trump announced a drawdown of U.S. troops in the region as part of an effort to end America's longest war. What do you think we can expect to come from this sit-down, from these conversations?
Look, it's time to take training wheels off. If the Afghans want their government, they can have their government. If they want to defend their form of government they have right now, it's up to them to do that. We've been in this war for 20 years, actually 19 to be exact. That's pretty close to 20 years. And the President Trump has said he wants to end these endless wars. We think we can graft constitutional democracy, representative democracy, onto a tribal region that is unchanged since the Stone Age. That's a fantasy that the president does not buy into, and he's not going to pay for that fantasy with the limbs and the blood and the treasure of Americans. So we're seeing some great breakthroughs under this president, whether it's Afghanistan, drawing down our troops, getting some peace talks going among the party involved, or what we're seeing in the Middle East with United Arab Emirates and Israel making peace, and now Bahrain jumping onto the peace train.
Yeah, no, you mentioned that. I want to point it out because that is getting worldwide attention, the president being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in that regard. But of course, you know, people on the left in our own government are not exactly recognizing potentially how significant those peace deals are. Nancy Pelosi had this to say about the deal.
We've been waiting for a very long time for the president's proposal for an Israeli-Palestinian peace agreement that honored the two-state solution. It was coming in 2 weeks. It was coming in 2 months. It was coming in 6 months. It still hasn't come in any way that has brought peace. So good for him for having a distraction on a day when the numbers of people who are affected and the numbers of people who are dying from this virus only increases.
All right, Curtis, about 30 seconds left with you here. Pelosi calling this move a distraction.
I really don't have words for that. I mean, that is sick. That shows the demented nature of the opposition to President Trump. Can't you just say, this is a great day, peace is closer than ever before in the Middle East. It's just stunning that she would say that. Let's leave it up to the people in the region to make peace, not have Nancy Pelosi dictate what the terms are supposed to be, not even have Washington dictate. They've decided they want to move forward into the future. Great for them. And President Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for engineering this.
Yeah, I don't know who wouldn't want to be celebrating peace at this time. Curtis Ellis joining us live this morning. Curtis, thanks so much.
Thank you.